Bare root strawberry plants are just becoming available in the big box stores. I'm going to share with you my plan to pot these and then turn a profit on them. Hi everybody, welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. My name is Sarah and it is a very exciting day for me. Kevin and I were in the local big box store and we realized that their bare root strawberry plants are in, and so I've been planning to do this project for, I don't know, 6 months or a year, and so I'm excited that it is now time to get started. Now I will tell you that last year I bought 20 or 30, I can't remember, bare root strawberry plants from the same big box store, and I held on to them and waited to plant them in the garden, in the ground, until the packaging told me it was a good idea to plant them. But by then, I had already had these packages for about a month, and by that time, they had all died in the package. So I did some research and I watched some other videos, and I also looked at some blogs, and I found out that they died because I waited too long to plant them. And I saw one lady who actually potted them as soon as she could get her hands on them from the big box store and grew them in her house until it was the perfect time outside to plant them in her garden, and she had amazing success. So not only am I going to be potting these bare root strawberry plants to kind of get them going and get them growing so that I can put them in my new garden, but I'm also going to be potting these so that I can take them to the farmer's market and turn a profit on them. I was able to get 10 roots for about $3, and I know that after I pot them and they start growing, I can take them to the farmer's market and at least double my money, if not triple my money, and that is an awesome way to make some money on my homestead and to get free strawberry plants for my own garden. So I'm going to show you today how to pot these and just get them going so that they'll be ready for your garden once it warms up enough. Now there are two types of strawberry plants that you need to be looking for, and you need to decide whether you want to grow one kind or the other, or if you want to grow both. One kind of strawberry plant is a June-bearing strawberry plant, which means that it will produce its crop around June, and it will only have one crop. So all of your strawberries will be produced around the same time every year, and that is when you can gather them all and preserve them, freeze them, turn them into jam, whatever it is you're going to do. The other type is called everbearing, and that will have a much longer season of producing strawberries, but it may not produce a lot at once. It will stagger them throughout the summer. So you just have to decide which is best for you, if you want all of them ready at one time or if you want to be picking them throughout the summer. My preference is June-bearing strawberries. I'm not going to remember to go out there all throughout the summer to get strawberries, and I'm afraid that I'm not going to get a decent amount of strawberries to really do anything with, do some canning and that kind of thing, if they're just ripening all throughout the summer. So my plan is to start these June-bearing strawberry bare root plants and then plant them out into the garden. But I have purchased both June-bearing and ever-bearing to start and sell at the farmer's market. So let's get started. I want to teach you how to plant bare root strawberry plants if you've never done this before. So in this situation, these bare roots are coming in this package, and you know, basically they have been taken out of the ground. The dirt has been removed off of their root system, and they've been bundled up, and they're all rubber banded together inside here. All 10 of them are together in one bunch. And so the first thing you're going to do is take the rubber band off of it so that you can separate all of the little strawberry plants from each other. Now a little bit of soil will come off of here, but you're just going to kind of tickle them open or gently open them and start taking them out and separating them one by one. Here's one plant. Okay, and then I'm just going to go through and separate all of these until they're all separated individually. So the next thing I'm going to do after I get them all separated and I make sure I have all 10 or however many are in your package, I'm going to take a look at the root system and I'm going to trim the roots. I'm going to be using like a 3-inch pot, and so I can't have the roots being so long, so I'm going to trim the roots to about 2 inches long. Now I'm going to hold on to the base of the plant and hold the other roots with my fingers, and I'm just going to cut the roots, the bottoms of the roots off, so that the root system is about 2 inches long. And I'm going to do that with all of these bare roots. Well, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of these little bare root balls into a little bit of water. They are very thirsty. When you open them, you'll be able to feel that they're a little tiny bit damp, but I want to give them a good start. I want to get them soaking up some moisture into their root systems as fast as I can. So I'm just going to put them into a shallow bowl of water until I can put them into a pot. Now, you should not let them stay in there for very long, you know, probably at the maximum an hour or so. We don't want them to get waterlogged or start rotting or anything. This is just to give them a little bit of jump start, like if you were getting your new batch of chicks in the mail. They're so thirsty. The first thing you want to do is give them some water. Same thing with bare root plants. So I'm just going to grab a little bowl of water. Just has an inch or so, maybe less of water, and I'm going to put these bare root plants just inside of there. Okay, now it's time to plant them. I'm going to be using little 3-inch pots like this. Any small little pot that you have will work fine. The little, you know, peat pot or the little, you know, paper ones or whatever will work just fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put maybe an inch or so of dirt on the bottom of the little pot first. Well, maybe a little bit, maybe 1.5 inches or so. And you know, you can pot these any way you want to. If you have experience potting little plants like this, everybody kind of comes up with their own method of doing it. I've created just a little system that works really well for me, especially in the situation where I'm planting little bare root plants. So like I said, I just put a little bit of soil down at the bottom, and then I'm going to take some soil and I'm kind of going to pack it just on the side, just on one side, so I have a place to put the little bare root plant and hold it there, and it has a place to rest and not fall over until I can get the rest of the soil in there. So I'm gonna take one of my little bare root plants and I'm going to determine for sure which is the root section and which is the plant section. Now, if you look at your little bare root plant, you're going to see kind of a thicker part, or feel a little thicker part, and that is actually where the plant starts growing. From above that, the leaves will grow, and then below that, you know, you'll see the roots kind of sticking down. So in our little pot, we're going to line up we're going to put the roots down inside there, and we're going to line up the top portion just at the level of the soil. Okay, so the plant part is sticking out of the soil and the roots are sticking inside the soil. And I'm going to hold down the bare root plant with one hand, and I'm going to fill up the rest of the little pot with soil with the other hand. Now I'm going to you know, pack it in there lightly, not too lightly but not too firmly. And then I'm just going to reposition the plant a tiny little bit and finish putting soil on top until it is filled almost to the top. Okay? So there we have it. We have planted our first little bare root strawberry plant, and so we're just going to set this aside on a tray, and we're going to water it when we're done. Now, I have pre-moistened all of this planting mix. You wouldn't want to start with super dry potting soil. It will just be a lot harder for the soil to soak up and for the plant to get the amount of moisture that it needs right away. So when you're planting these, you need to use pre-moistened soil. So like I said, you have this all done. It's time to move on to all the rest. Well, look, they're all finished. 10 of them that came in that packet. I've potted them all. Now I just need to make sure that they get watered regularly so that they are they're moist but not too wet, and that they don't dry out. And they also need to stay in a sunny location and stay warm. Now, even though strawberries are perennials, I want to make sure that these guys have the best start possible, so I'm going to make sure that they are staying warm. What that may mean for you is to bring them into the house and make sure that they're by a sunny window. If you have grow lamps, you can put them on top of these guys for about 12 hours on and 12 hours off. You don't necessarily need a heat mat though, just room temperature of your house will be fine. If you've been thinking about growing strawberries in your garden but you just haven't gotten around to it yet, I really suggest that you try growing them from these bare roots, because they're really much more cost effective than buying the actual plants from the nursery. Also, if you're thinking of ways to make a little bit of extra money on the homestead, go ahead and give this a try. You may just find out that you love it and that it will be super successful in your area. If you are new to our channel and this is the first time you've stopped by, welcome. We would really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button below. That way you can see what is going on with our channel all the time. We have a variety of topics coming up. Before you go, don't forget to comment and share this video. And until next time, you guys, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.